See, you already know what it is. They be trying to play around with me. They thought I was just going. I'm like, listen. I turned around. I said, hold on. Why am I frozen? I got the highest. I got the crystal clarity over here. I ain't supposed to be frozen over here. I turn around, look outside. The wind blowing all hard. My internet went out, but we back up and running, man. Hey, they can't stop the motion. They can't stop the motion. We're gonna get right back off into what we was getting off into. Mark Khan, I see you had me on the super chat. I appreciate you. I can't pull it back up because it's definitely a brand new stream. But let's get back right back into what we was talking about with no pleasantries. I ain't trying. The devil trying to play with me today. They trying to play around. They moving around, but they can't hold us back. The Cleveland Browns come up with a big time victory, 23-17 in overtime. Chubb, your boy Amari Cooper and Myles Garrett came up big for the Cleveland Browns. And if I want to thank everybody for jumping back on here all over. If you were in the chat before, we appreciate you stopping back through. If you was watching me on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, 2-minute warning. Shout out to you guys for coming on over. We had upwards of 1,500 over there. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna give it up again over here and get it down to where we get to. Let's continue to keep this thing growing. If you are watching on Facebook, thank you so much. I appreciate you. If you're over there on YouTube, we see you. If you're on Twitch, shout out to you. And if you're on Twitter, we appreciate you as well. We will work to get the link back up. I think I got to do a couple little things to get the link back up, but we will have that up and running for you, and we will get that going. But I tell you what, this was a big time victory for the Cleveland Browns, and I had a good feeling about it all week. And the reason I had a really good feeling about it all week was for the simple fact that when you look at what the Cleveland Browns might have been able to do with getting a win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, there was a lot of people that came at me and said, yo, G. Bush, hey, I'm going to be in town because it's the last time we may see a guy like Tom Brady. They say, G. Bush, I'm going to be in town. We're going to hang out. We're going to do our thing. There was a lot of cool dudes. I hung out Saturday night. Eric Metcalf, my man Leroy Horde. Shout out to Leroy. Such a solid dude. He invited me and Adam the Bull out. Such a solid dude. Introduced us to some new people, really great people. We had dinner last night. Bernie Kosar. I just was sitting up there just soaking up that information. They even had a professional golfer. Duffner was in the building. And I'm like, I didn't even know who it was until like he was so cool and chill. Like Bull was like, hey, you know this dude that went to run the British Open before? I'm asking him all kind of crazy golf questions. He was like, who's this guy over here? So, but these guys were so cool, man. I had a great time hanging out with those guys last night. And we were talking about it. And I was like, man, look, I got a strange feeling that the Browns is going to come out here and be okay. And lo and behold, guess what happens? They come out here and the defense plays solid. And finally, in overtime, the Browns come out here and do what the Browns are supposed to do. And I thought it was a wrap when you take a look at what they was doing with Amari Cooper on the fourth down play when Jacoby Brissett backs up, drops back, throws the football to Amari Cooper, hits him in his chest, it drops down his chest like some noodles. All you heard was, "Come on, Amari Cooper." We was like, I was over there chilling, and I was like, this is right where it starts. It looks like an opportunity for the Cleveland Browns to do something with their life. They don't do what they need to do, and then all of a sudden, it's looking like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to take this thing over. But before we get into that, I do want to say something, man. I do want to say this. There's a reason that I felt like the Browns could be somebody that could be dealt with today. It's because you take a look at it. If you beat Tom Brady, and then you have an opportunity to get a quarterback back like Deshaun Watson. When Deshaun Watson gets back into your system, what starts to happen is a lot of people have been saying, well, G. Bush, Deshaun Watson don't be playing no defensive end. G. Bush, he ain't tackling nobody. G. Bush, Deshaun Watson is not going to make no difference. Well, I think today you saw a little bit what that difference makes. And I'm going to give it to you. And a lot of people may not see it this way. But just think about it like this. When you got a guy like a Deshaun Watson, you are always in a football game. You are always in a football game when you have a Deshaun Watson. And so when you're a defensive player, I've played on defensive teams before where you've been kind of subpar at quarterback. You got a quarterback that's a liability. One of the things that always gets to you is the simple fact that you think you got to play perfect. And if anything wrong happens offensively or defensively, you just start pressing because you know that your quarterback can't give you an opportunity to come back and win games if they're close, or if you're losing games and you're losing by a wide margin, you have to do things like abandon the run, which is the strongest part of the Cleveland Browns playbook. So there's a lot of times where, more than meets the eye, there's an opportunity where if you get a guy coming back who you believe is a franchise quarterback, a guy that can always bring you back, a guy that no lead is too big, a guy that the pressure is not going to be on him, you automatically get that little boost. And that little boost for the Cleveland Browns is the difference between winning and losing games sometimes. If you look at the way the Cleveland Browns have played so far this year, it hasn't been that the offense was trash. It hasn't been that the defense was all the way trash. What happens is that you're losing games with a play here, penalty here, holding here, a block kick here, there, or a low snap here. You miss a guy wide open, a drop. These are all the things that have been happening to the Cleveland Browns. And now that you have a guy like Deshaun Watson, I think that you're going to be in a position where you saw today, those guys were saying, hey, 4-7 ain't a great record. But look, we got one of the worst teams coming up in the Houston Texans. You got a situation where now you're looking at it and say, you can say, hey, we got a good chance at 5-7. If you can do that, I don't know if you guys have noticed, them Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Ravens today. I'm just saying, you've already looked like you've had the number on the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm just saying, there is a path in these next 3 games that you have a path that you can get to 7-7. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. I ain't going to say Deshaun Watson's going to play perfect. I ain't going to say Deshaun Watson going to come in here and light the world on fire. But I'm going to tell you what, the Cleveland Browns got a little bit of a shot here. You know what I'm saying? They got a little bit of a shot right now. 115 people in there right now, 117. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Hit that like button for your boy. Let me get off to the comments really quickly because I want to talk about this next subject coming in. And the Browns did send Jacoby Brissett out in style. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit as well. If you're new to the channel, you just happen to see us, make sure you subscribe to the barbershop. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the notification bell to get some content like this if you do like it. Let's go to our first comments. Let's do it. Yeah, hey, yeah, we back in action. Yeah, Dav 27, we back in action. Gino Threat says, "What up, G?" No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Dr. Magi says, "Brown saved what would have been a sad weekend." Listen, by the way, pour one out. Pour one out for them. I'm gonna be honest with you. Pour one out for the Ohio State Buckeyes. They got did dirty. Hey, they got did dirty. Any Buckeye fans in here? Any Buckeye fans? Any? No Buckeye fans. All right, we'll just go on to the next topic. Yeah. Can't stop. No, we ain't going nowhere, man. We back at it, man. You know what we doing? Joe Woods cutting Bush's internet. Joe Woods and cut G. Bush's internet. I wouldn't be surprised if he was on the side of my house. I'm going to give Joe Woods some love, though. Joe Woods, you did not take a crap all over the place. Today, I was a little scared when Tom Brady had to rock back. When you gave Tom Brady the rock back, before in overtime, I said, these dudes didn't get this dude the ball back. I was thinking about going for 2. I ain't going to lie. Shout out to Stefanski. I think he knew his team a little better. The defense was playing better that game. So I think he said, listen, let's go ahead, kick this field goal, get to overtime, and take our chances overtime. I'm glad he did what he did. He had a better pulse of it than me because I was definitely thinking about them too. Because I'm like, oh, you got Tom Brady? Mel, hey, he said it was Joe Woods. I'm telling you. Hey, State lost the game so the Browns can win. Hey, Ronald Sims, they sacrificed themselves. Sacrificed themselves, bro. Because well, you couldn't tell me. I know. Put a 2 in the chat too. Put a number 2. Put a number 2. If when you was watching the Ohio State Buckeyes play, you couldn't have swore that they just had the Cleveland Browns jerseys underneath the red jerseys. Because when them boys was running around Michigan all second half, I said, doggone it. These dudes is running around like this the Cleveland Browns. I could have swore the Browns didn't play till tomorrow. I could have swore. I thought Tommy Togiai had slipped out of Berea, went back to Columbus, put his jersey on because he thought he was helping, and then got the Buckeyes waxed again. Damn, Tommy. Damn you, Tommy Togiai. You got him. You got the Buckeyes gashed. They got a running back with one hand. How you let a one-handed running back eat you up like that? He had like 5 carries on and 200 yards. Crazy, bro. Hey, them Clippers don't stop DeAndre Black. You know what they say? Hey, what up, cuz? A good win finally. You know what we is. We ain't going nowhere. We needed this dub. Oh, my goodness. G. Bush, I love Ohio State, the Cavs. Hey, chill out, G. There's some Michigan fans in here, too. Hey, I ain't got no dog in the fight. I'm a Bobcat. Hey, I'm a Bobcat, my man. Hey, I'm going to see my Bobcats play Toledo for that MAC championship. Listen, I'm a MACtion type guy. I don't have a dog in the fight. I just watch football. I love college football. I be watching them. Hey, Michigan, I tell people all the time, hey, no hate. No hate at all. I'll tell you this. When Michigan came out there running the football, I told everybody once, and I told them once, I told them twice, I told them 3 times. Look, if you were any team at Pop Warner, flag football, JV football on Sunday nights, whether you're playing varsity, state playoffs, Division I, Division II, a Mountain Union, Youngstown State, if you cannot stop another team from running the ball on you, you can't win. I'm just letting you know. You can beat some garbage teams. You can beat Illinois. You can beat Purdue. You could beat Indiana. You could beat Minnesota. But when it comes down to you trying to beat Michigan and ultimately going on to face a team like Georgia, face a team like Alabama, you know, even teams that make it occasionally like Clemson, if you are not out there and you're not stopping the run, you will never win any meaningful games. Because if you cannot stop the run, everything else comes off of that. Sometimes the run game unlocks other parts of your offense. So watch this. Think about it like this. And I'm going to give y'all a great example on this, right? And it just came out of the Ohio State game. Moving forward, when you're talking about the Cleveland Browns, right? Cleveland Browns is 4-7, right? Say, for instance, you know, just given what we know, if Deshaun Watson comes back playing like you played prior to him leaving, right? If Deshaun Watson is able to come back and play that way, let me ask you all a question. If you can't stop the Cleveland Browns run game, it's a wrap for you. Because now the play action is super open, right? All of these teams that got a 9, 10 guys in the box with Nick Chubb, good luck with that. That's done. That's over, right? Nick Chubb is now going to see regular boxes. And if you give him regular boxes, guess what's going to look like? Now he's going to be hitting his head on the goalpost. Now instead of them 5 to 7, 8, and 10. Now when you run that play action, you got guys wide open now. And now it's an extra dimension you add to that because now you got the RPO game. You got the read option game. Play action is devastating. He could just take the ball and scramble for 10 yards after you play great defense. You see what I'm saying? But if you can't stop the run, how the heck you think you're going to stop all the rest of that? They can run whatever play they want to any down. So that's why it's so important that you get a hold on the run game, and you saw it with Ohio State. Michigan didn't run the ball to the second half, but that don't matter. Sometimes they use the pass game to open up the rest of the stuff, and they definitely Definitely couldn't touch them boys from up north. And I ain't a fan. I'm just a guy watching sports. I just tell you what I feel, bro. I just tell you what I feel. Make sure you guys hit that like button. 173 in here. We building it back up. We building it back up slowly. People that went away. Oh my gosh, his internet went out. Oh my goodness, G Bush, your internet. Did you pay the bill? You paid the bill? Yeah, I paid it, dog. Stop asking me any questions. You can definitely donate on Cash App, $GBush91, $GBush91. You can donate on PayPal, Garrett.Bush on PayPal, GBush on PayPal, GBush91 on PayPal. And of course, Super Chat is always open. We appreciate you much do out there as well. Let's talk about this. The Browns sent Jacoby Brissett out in style. And one of the things that I really appreciate they did, I think a lot of what Jacoby Brissett did during the year, a lot of people took for granted. A lot of people wanted Jimmy Garoppolo. A lot of people was running around talking about, I think the Browns is punting on the season if they keep Jacoby Brissett back there. I heard this all around town, all on the newspapers, all on the radio. Jacoby this, Jacoby that, Jacoby this, Jacoby that. And what it turned out to be, it turned out Jacoby played better than we ever expected. Jacoby actually outperformed people's whole thought processes. And it made us look dumb at the fact that we was actually considering, people really considered, maybe we should just bring Baker back because he is under contract. And maybe we just pay him for that $18 million or whatever. And, because he's the best option we have. No, he wasn't. Baker wasn't the best option. His best option was retiring, which that's going to happen too. The retirement sauce is coming, Baker. I'm sorry. You might listen. You're going to get a lot of money. Trust me. There's one thing Baker Mayfield is. He is an entertainer, and I'm no hater. One entertainer sees another entertainer. People like Baker. People like Donald Trump, right? They don't go away easy. They got all kind of stuff they do. You think Trump was a pitchman before he needed this? He had shows before this. He coined some phrases. You're fired. Yo, Baker got the moxie. Baker run around with the headband. He tell it like it is. Listen, if they offer Tom Brady $19 million as soon as he done playing for the Buccaneers, what you think they're going to offer Baker a college game day? He's the new Lee Corso, but cooler. I'm just sorry because I no disrespect, but Desmond Howard, Jesse Palmer. I'd rather watch Baker than Jesse. I ain't trying to see The Bachelor. Come on now. But he about to be up out of here. That retirement sauce is on the burger. The retirement sauce is a little bit of a harder consistency than the Big Mac sauce, right? So the retirement sauce, it's a little hard to get out of your clothes, and it has a little stench to it. The retirement sauce is coming, Bake. I'm just letting you know that right now. Just letting you know right now. But I will say Jacoby went out on top. I think people really need to think about it in these regards. I wouldn't mind seeing Jacoby come back. I really wouldn't. Would not mind seeing my man come back. You know why I wouldn't mind seeing him come back? Is because he's the perfect backup for what they want to do. Jacoby Lee doesn't need that many reps to be successful. He has a stronger arm than I thought he did. He was more mobile than I thought. The team responds to him. He's done it in a spot before. He understands the offense, and he has the perfect demeanor to be a backup quarterback. Anytime we try to ask him some questions to get him off his spot, that man came back. We ain't trying to hear none of that. It's on to the next joint. And so I think that's the perfect demeanor you need for a backup. Now, the problem is, I think somebody going to offer him a little bit more money. I think Jacoby is a guy that might actually find himself moving around and really having a situation where you look at Jacoby, he might be getting offered more money other places to be a projected starter. Look at Zach Wilson. The dude from the Jets came off the bench throwing the ball 300 plus yards, getting another win. Right now, there's a couple teams I wouldn't mind if I'm looking at it like from his perspective. You can't use the Jacoby Brissett. Huh? You can't use that? He around 10 to 13 as far as QBR, as far as his moxie, as far as his completion percentage. You can't use that? Come on now. I think he's going to get more in other places, and it's a doggone shame because I feel like he's a perfect backup for what we're talking about. Let's get back to some of the questions out here as well. Here we go. My man, G-Money Uptown. That's why I want Fuller for a true deep threat. Crazy. I think we about to get another. I think this now we can upgrade on certain things. And plus, I want to talk to y'all about this as well. I might want to save this for a topic. I don't know. I'll see how I feel about it. I might save it. We might save it. Karen says, GB, if O State can't beat Michigan, the coaching staff will not last long. It's all about that rivalry, and Ohio State has to dominate always. You know what's so crazy about that, Karen? You're 100% correct. For all the games that Ryan Day has had, and shout out to Ryan Day. He's been gracious enough to come on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I've talked to him. I've talked to Gene. I talked to all of the guys that are integral up there at Ohio State. You know, you're right, though. It all come down to this. It all come down to that game because you're not really playing nobody of consequence. You're not playing SEC schools off the bat. You're not playing the top teams. And so you're going to go undefeated. You're going to have a nice record going into the bowl seasons. But guess what? If you don't win that game, you're up out of here, bro. And I'm talking about next year possibly. And ain't it so funny? Ain't it funny how time fly? Harbaugh just a couple years ago was almost out of here. He was the laughing stock of college football. Laughing stock. And in two wins over Ohio State, he is now going to be going back, whatever it really looks like, to the college football playoff 2 years back to back. Now, they're going to get smoked. Don't get it twisted. I don't have them making much noise. But they got there. And that's a huge turnaround from people doubting whether or not this dude was even in the realm of possibility competing with Ohio State, especially when it comes to those recruits that they was getting. Let's continue to move on. Mark Kahn, I appreciate you. Browns today reminded me of Rocky 4. The Bucs were Ivan Drago, and we were Rocky. We just kept coming, and we weren't like Brady and is not a machine. I like the fact that the Browns, they capitalized on some things. They capitalized on some things that they usually would have not capitalized. The play down the sideline in overtime, where Mike Evans kind of got behind MJ Emerson, had a step on him. Brady overthrows it, right? I thought that was a big play. I also thought the play with Myles Garrett getting a sack, huge. And we've been wanting Myles Garrett to have a sack of consequence. What I mean by that, game-changing, strip sacks, sacks that get you off the field, sacks on third down, sacks that make sure that you can get the ball back to the offense. And I thought he was really good today, and I thought he did a good job of pressuring. But the Browns just stayed in there. They just kept fighting. And there's always one or two games during a year where you play a team and you might think that you got on talent on paper, you got more talent than they do, but that team just keeps fighting, keeps scratching, and before you know it, it's an even game. It's an even game. And how about the doggone catch by Njoku? How's about the one-handed catch in the back of the end zone to tie the game up? That was one heck of a catch. And let me go ahead and throw this out here too. Hey, Levon, MJ Emerson is the Browns' best corner. Hey, let me say it again. Slow for y'all. MJ Emerson is the Cleveland Browns' best corner. Best corner. The way he plays, the way he scraps, the way he's physical, the way he's always around the ball, you can't tell me MJ Emerson is not the Browns' best defender out wide. I knew he was the Browns' best defender when they said Newsome gonna play in the slot. I said, "Oh, for real? He up out of here." Because ain't no way you a first-round pick. Ain't no way you a first-round pick and you ain't not on that outside. I saw a rookie third-round pick from Mississippi State SEC school, by the way, with Mike Evans, hand-to-hand combat, leveling up, getting in his face, no nothing, gave him no breaks, no nothing, and he's sitting there right there like backpedaling. I'm like, man, this dude, he is their best corner. And I'm aware Denzel Ward is out there. I'm aware. I'm aware. Hey, they just watching. Hey, man. Hey, get them likes up, man. We got 281. Get them likes up. You may not like what I'm saying, but guess what? You got to respect it. 281, hit them likes. Hey, it don't cost you nothing, bro. I be telling people all the time, man. It's just etiquette. It's just common courtesy, bro. Hey, if you come in the chat and you appreciate what we're talking about, or if you disagree with what we're talking about, at the end of the day, hit the like button, bro. It ain't got to be an over-the-top super chat. I understand what it is, Christmas time. You ain't got to be hitting the super chat button all crazy. Like, yo, you know, right now it's inflation. People trying to do something out here that you don't even need. Just show that regular love. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. John Miller says Deshaun Watson equals hope. And John, you've been on my, why you been looking at my notes, John? Disappointed here. You've obviously snuck into my apartment, taken a gander at my notes, and written them down as your own. I never thought it would come to this, John. No, I'm playing. I'm just playing with you, my guy. You know, I'm just playing. Deshaun Watson does equal hope. And I want to go there really quickly, too. We kind of touched on this already. The big three, Chubb, Garrett, Cooper. I think they showed out. Amari Cooper, after he dropped the ball, 2 big catches, 1 on third down to get to 5 extra yards, and obviously losing that DB and getting down to the 2 or 3 yard line, and then Chubb, finish it off, right? We talked a little bit about the Browns. For once, the Browns made winning plays, right? We talked about how before it was other teams that stepped up in crucial points in time. And today, when there's times where the Browns could have folded like a cheap tent, or the Browns could have been the Browns, they weren't the Browns, right? They found a way to make a play. They found a way. I thought Donovan Peoples-Jones returning punts was huge today. He didn't take nothing in the house, but just having consistent positive games, I thought was a big thing. And I want to get to this because I think this is going to be the thesis of what we talk about today. When you look at Deshaun Watson and what Deshaun Watson is going to do, I think Deshaun Watson, what he's going to add the most as far as a boost is, it's the hope. It's the getting the guy we haven't had before. Remember when Donovan Mitchell came through, right? And even watching the Cleveland Cavaliers, they still got to figure it out with Mobley and Allen and how they all fit, and Garland and Donovan Mitchell. But remember when he first got here and they won those 8 games? What he did is he showed you some of the best moments that you can possibly be. He showed you that even if you're outgunned, even if you don't play as well as you think you should have, even if you have a bad defensive or offensive game, even if the other team comes out hot, or you may get down after a couple fouls or bad calls by the refs, you still have what it takes to come out here and make plays and win at the highest level. And when other people see that, it builds hope. And hope is a funny thing. There's a lot of people out here that live on hope daily. Heck, there's people that are minorities in the community. There's people who are poor, disenfranchised, that live out there that live on hope, right? People always say, why do people are so invested in sports or so invested in things like sports? And because those teams that we love the most represent us at its core value. So the Cleveland Browns represent a bunch of people who they ain't never been rich. They work hard. You know what I'm saying? They just want to eat good, work hard, take care of their family, put their kids in school, and just progress and grow. So when you look at the Cleveland Browns, when the Cleveland Browns lose, they lose and you upset because they represent those ideals that you hold close to you. Like when people say, when the old Cavs had that jingle, hard-working town, hard-working team. People identified with that. That wasn't just no regular lyrics. That was real life. You know, people in Cleveland generally work hard. People in Cleveland have to go out and shovel off that snow when you getting in that car in the morning and it's dark. I tell people sometimes, you know, I look at people sometimes and I be mad. People like, yeah, I'm tired of the cold weather. I'm trying to leave up out of here. I'm trying to go to Florida and work. First of all, you ain't worked hard enough to. You got to earn your way to go move somewhere in the South. Like a lot of people, if you 32 and you just talk about it's cold, I need to desert it. No. You got to earn that. I feel like you should earn the right. You got to be semi-retired before you can even get you some hot weather every single day. I mean, what have you done? Have you done manual labor 10 years of your life? Are you getting up every day warming that car up for you and your wife? You going out in the middle of the winter scraping that windshield, right? And what you know about scraping the windshield, but you only got like a half a scraper. What y'all know about that half scraper out there? What you know about having that little Wendy's cup? You got the Wendy's cup, the little scraper, and you got a frosty lid that you just trying to get the windows together with. What you know about it being so cold, you got to use the windshield wiper fluid, but it'll be freezing by the time it get to the plate. By the time it get to the windshield, you're like, dang, man, this ain't heating up as fast as I thought it was. And then you be out there for 15, 20 minutes, you just get mad and say, you know what, screw this. I got to get to work. I'm going to mess around being late for warming up this car. You see, you got to know about that in Cleveland. You already know about it. So you got to earn them days off. You got to earn moving to Florida. You got to earn moving south. You got to earn getting that little 2-3 weeks of vacation up here. So people identify with the team. You know, we feel like y'all work in a dome. Our team is outside. We be outside. It was cold this morning, and I was out there doing the broadcast over at West 6, and I see people come down the street. Keep coming, boom, 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 coming back and forth. And I'm like, dang, these people still quiet. They happy too. They act like they don't know the Browns 3-7. Nope, don't care. They just out there with their colors on. It's a way of life. It's a passage. See old guys with their sons. See, fathers with daughters. You see buddies out there. You see coworkers out there just drinking beers, having a good time. All hoping for a Browns victory. It ain't guaranteed. It ain't expected. You're just hoping for a Browns win. And when you do get the Browns win, turn everything around. Now, water tastes good. Now, I don't even, you know what? I'm going to the refrigerator. I don't got nothing to cook because I had to do this podcast. I could eat anything I want. I had to go out and get it, or I might have to conjure something now. But I do it with a smile. Let me go in here. Yeah, ain't nothing in this doggone refrigerator but you. But just it don't even matter though. I'm looking in here. I just looked. Ain't no much juice. It's a little corner of juice in there. But you know, it's all good though. Man, let me check these scores. My fantasy team playing. Let me see. I wonder how much. I wonder is so and so doing. Let me check these. That's all because the Browns won. And Deshaun Watson is going to give you another additional flow to that. Because for the first time, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to let y'all know something. For the first time, Cleveland Browns fans, week after week, you're going to go out on that field, and for once, you're going to look at another team's quarterback and look at your quarterback and say, we're not scared of y'all. So what, you get 14 points. We got a guy who can get us 14 points too. And I don't think we've been able to say that for almost 30 years. And I sat back with Bernie last night, and I'm asking him, you know what I'm saying? I asked him, what's the biggest difference between this generation and the last generation? He said, last generation, I played with a bunch of guys that was calling their own plays. I still think that's preposterous. I think that's still one of the highest levels of flattery that you can say to a quarterback. You know, pitchers usually make pitchers and catchers in the Major League Baseball. The catchers is usually telling the pitchers and calling the game. The pitchers just tell yes or no if I'm comfortable with it. But as time go along, I don't know how many catchers are actually really literally catching and calling the plays at the same time. I think the managers do a little bit of that as well. So when you go back and you say, I'm talking to Bernie, he said, look, I wasn't the only one doing it. Look, just in the AFC, we had Jim Kelly, father of the K-Gun, right? He was calling his own stuff. Dan Marino down in Miami, he was calling his own stuff. I was calling my stuff up here. He said John Elway was calling his own stuff. He said that was just to get out the division. Everybody was calling their own stuff. And to think about that, he did the last play of his career, and I've always sat back and marveled at it. Last play of his career, I heard him and Leroy last night telling me, Bill Belichick called a play in, and Bernie was like, we ain't running that. They was down a couple scores on Monday Night Football, primetime game, and he had told Michael Jackson, a.k.a. Michael Dyson, hey, look, I know you're supposed to run that post corner, right? But hey, fake to the corner route, go right back to the post. I'm going to hold off the backside safety with my eyes. I'm going right to you for a touchdown. Man, he drew it up in the ground in the sand. Leroy confirmed. He said, he told everybody, Max, protect this way, boom, 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 and we was good. Bill Belichick called the play in. They're looking around. Bernie Kosar dropped back 5-7 steps. He's slow and slew-footed. But y'all don't know, Bernie about 6'6", though. I'm 6'5". Bernie taller than me. It's kind of crazy. Come back with that, moving around. Look that backside safety off. Put it right on him. Touchdown. He said, your boy, Bill Belichick, looked at him like he stole his Thanksgiving dinner. He said he was staring right through me. He was like, even though we got the touchdown, I got cussed out in the film room. He said a week later, I was on the next train smoking to Dallas. They had cut me. And I said, what? He's like, yeah, that's how deep it was. That's how deep it was. Hey, shout out to everybody, man. Y'all cats is killing me. Y'all cats is doing so much, man. Let me get to all my super chats. I want to appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, man. Let's get to this, man. Let's get here. Shout out to you guys, man. Always supporting. Watson is cool, but interior D-line is where's the beef? Hey, I tell you what, I've been trying to get some of these defensive linemen forever. You're going to need some. Deshaun Watson, by no means, shape, or form, is going to be able to mask everything. When you're playing good teams, you're going to have everybody pulling their weight. That's including coaches. That's including players on the team, especially the guys where you're deficient at. But I will say this. You did see a little bit of a bounce, a little pep in their step. I think it'll help going into this game. Fuller not signed anywhere make me think. Yeah, Fuller not being signed makes me think he's hurt. And he may just want to sit out this year. Let's see. My man, Christopher Landers. Shout out to man Christopher Landers. He said Emerson is looking like a baby Richard Sherman. Hey, that's high status. But I tell you what, he does his thing, man. He does his thing. Denzel Ward is expendable. Shout out to Emerson for balling. I don't even know what Emerson be doing. Gregory George, man, you out here showing up, man. I appreciate you, man. I drove a bus of 11 cold years before I moved to Miami to work for me. 3 Islands G Mobile Cuisine coming to Ohio next summer. Hey, bro, you gonna keep the Miami one? Hey, you gonna keep the Miami one? So you got the Miami joint. You come up here. Hey, listen, yeah, shout out to him. I mean, hey, you cook your tail off, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You cook your tail off. You know what I'm saying? We get one of them food trucks up here, you're gonna make a mint load, especially if you're in the Muni lot. Come on up here. I'll pull up on you. We'll do something, bro. Let's see. We got a couple things here. Paris Fellow says the Houston game is going to be exciting because of Watson's return. Guaranteed. Bam Bam Bigelow said people were leaving in the middle of the fourth. I told you they was ready to go. I'm glad you stayed, right? Y'all need to pump the brakes on considering trading Ward to believe he's expendable. I ain't gonna say trade him. I mean, we in the business of trading nobody. He's not tradable. His contract ain't tradable. He's making $100 million. No one's gonna take that off your hands. So you're not gonna get your fair value for him. So no, he's not. He actually is not tradable at this point. He really isn't tradable at this point. I want to get to something really quickly, and I'm gonna let y'all know before we get up out of here. Get ready for that circus. Get ready for that circus in Houston. You see, there's gonna be a lot of people. There's gonna be a lot of people that try to regurgitate, try to bring back up, try to rekindle. There's people with stories already written. Well, you can't talk about Deshaun Watson until you talk about what Deshaun Watson did. You can't say anything. Yeah, I believe anybody that supports Deshaun Watson and wears Browns jerseys, you guys are a travesty. You guys are a joke. Listen, first and foremost, bro, kick rocks. You listen, you know what I do? I'm a grown man, and it's time out for this, bro. You're not going to shame me into what I'm trying to do. And y'all might as well just quit while you're ahead. The dude that served 11 games. It has also been out there that every one of these individuals has not been keeping it real about said allegations. And I've already been on record saying, I don't believe nobody for face value just by simple fact of saying I'm going to believe somebody. No, in this world, you got to prove what you're saying. And if you don't understand it like that, I don't know if you have your faculties about you. In every point of life, whether you are a civilian, whether you're in the street, whether you're a student, whether you're anybody, you have to prove what you're saying. And at the end of the day, I'm not just straight believing nobody for the sake of saying I'm believing somebody. At the end of the day, you get an opportunity to present what you're going to present, and I present what I present. So, yeah, it's going to be a circus in Houston. But let's keep it real, too. When these articles come out, ask them what punishment and service did Houston have. Ask them that. Get ready for it, because they're going to have their talking points ready, and I want you to have your talking points ready. How many suspensions did their ownership take? How many suspensions did their front office have? They signed NDAs. They gave NDAs away, and they admitted that, guess what? They were in wrongdoing as well. They didn't get 11-game suspension. As a matter of fact, the precious picks that they got from the Cleveland Browns to get Deshaun Watson have never even been in default, have never been mentioned, have never been possibility of being stripped, have never talked about being taken away. So every time you get these folks jumping on top of this pulpit telling you that you can't wear your Cleveland Browns colors because you're somehow complicit in what Deshaun Watson did. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Bro. I go to work. I pay my taxes. I don't talk to nobody. I don't do nothing. When I go and I stand before God, I stand before him as G. Bush, as me. He gonna ask me, boy, what did you do? He'll hold me accountable for the things I'm supposed to do. He'll hold me accountable for whether I was a good person, whether I was a liar, whether I was a cheater, whether I treated my wife right, did I do right by my family? That's how I'm getting judged. Don't hit me with no judgment on me wearing a Browns hat, because it ain't gonna work on me. It just don't. I'm gonna just be honest with you, bro. And if you one of them people going around shaming people about sports facts and, well, you guys are bad people, well, listen, I'm gonna tell you what. Every one of us, it don't matter if you voted in the 2023 or 2020 election, both presidential candidates had allegations on their belt. Did that stop you from voting? No. Because you know what we realize? We realize that sometimes when you ain't got a choice, you take everything into consideration and you make the move. All you doing is making sure, you know what, dude, I'm gonna try to be the best person I can be. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make my decision. But for all them people with the stories already written and why the Browns are terrible, you can boo us. Who cares? Boo me. You wasn't booing Ben Roethlisberger when he was done. You gave him a standing ovation and cheered for him. You didn't boo him. I don't see too many people booing Brett Favre. No one's running around booing Brett Favre. Boo! You took money for poor people to build a gym for your daughter. Oh, you see, I'm sorry. I was on some feel good stuff. Nobody want to talk about. Nobody want to talk about Brett Favre or nothing. Just saying. I just joking. I was just joking. I was just joking, man. Come on back. Hit that like button. But trust me, the talking heads will be on it. The talking heads will be on it. I don't know how you guys could take. Listen, I'm going to just say this, and we're going to get to what our favorite point of time of day it is. They done laughed at the Cleveland Browns for 40 or 50 years, 60 years. You laugh at us because they stole our team. You laugh at us because we can't get it right. You laugh at us because we don't have the greatest owners. You laugh at us because our river burned on fire. You laugh at us because LeBron James left us twice. You laugh at us because our baseball team can't seem to get it right. We had to change our name. And then you say, you dummies, the Braves never changed their name. The Chiefs never changed your name. You guys still can't get it right. Well, listen, we're grown at this point. We ain't in high school no more. I don't give a damn what you think. You root for your team, I'm root for my team. That's how we gonna move with it. You're not moving me off my square. You're not moving me off what we're trying to do. He deserved his punishment. He did what he did. He was not acquitted. He was not found guilty. I don't know how many grand juries looked at it, 2 of them. But some Joe Schmo down the street is gonna try to tell you whether or not you can wear brown and orange. You know what you can do? You can kick all the rocks. I'm sorry. Get to kicking the boulders and the rocks. I don't care. At the end of the day, we moving forward. We going into Houston Texans. Y'all can boo all you want. Keep booing. I look forward to the boos. I'm gonna beat Houston. We're gonna go into Baltimore. We're gonna go into Cincinnati, and we're gonna kick their tails too. And at the end of the day, if we kick enough tails, if we beat enough people, if we shut up enough people, they'll stop booing, just like Ben Roethlisberger got stopped booing the year 2 after he got done with his allegations. At the end of the day, that is what it is. But I'm going to just keep being G. Bush, the guy who just goes to work, comes home, loves his people, loves talking to the people, loves talking to the fans, and I ain't got nothing to do with it. But to show our solidarity, to show where we are from, we have to get to it. Where are you checking in from? Keep it going. Keep it going. They're like, G. Bush, stop. G. Bush, come on. Come on. They're going to get you. Look at your people. You guys are great. Got a couple super chats here before we get to where you're calling from. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Do you think the Texans will be looking to injure Watson next game since they'll have to play nothing to play for? I wouldn't doubt it. That's part of the game going out there. It's part of the game. Whether people believe it or not, there's half of the league that's still trying to do that. That's part of coming out there because people don't want you to win. So they feel like Deshaun Watson left them, embarrassed them, brought some stuff onto their name in their city. Guess what? They got to come out here and defend that. They got to listen. They got to go. They got to come out here and defend that. We got one, G. Bush. Jags beat the Ravens, so window isn't quite closed yet. Now we got Deshaun coming back. We still alive. We owe Brissette some gratitude too. He played his ass off all year. Yes, he did, man. And you just mentioned, Nicholas, a couple of things that we got right there going on. You mentioned that, yeah, we ain't quite out of it. We ain't quite done. And look, we get to everybody in this chat, 388 people should be hitting that like button. And y'all should also feel that hope. You should feel that spirit. You should feel that little surge when you go to sleep tonight. Because guess what? You ain't nobody's laughing stock no more. You got all the requisite parts. You got to win against who they told you is the GOAT, Tom Brady. You got that win, and just think about it. Everybody on that team got a jolt in their arm. Y'all got to play us now. Y'all got to play. Y'all got to pay it. Y'all got to play us. I don't know. What do you mean? Where am I going? Race? There's no race. There's no. Hey, listen. Hey, shout out to Robert Kraft. I have nothing. He just got married too. He just got married too. Shout out to Robert Kraft. I ain't got nothing to say against you. You did your thing. You're married now. Clap it up for my man. But here's the thing. He served his time. We ain't going to worry about none of that. He about to play. And guess what? We just giving you a crash course on what they going to say. Coming up here in a little bit. Let me get to this last super chat. Make sure everybody got that, man. I appreciate you guys. We're going to get to it, man. Where are you coming in from? Let me put that back on the screen. Where you checking in from? Let's get to it. All right. Hey, yeah. I always do it to myself. I'll be derailing myself. I derail myself sometimes on some other type stuff. All right, here we go. All right, where you calling from? So let's start it off by this. G. Bush in the building. 234-440-330. Canton, Akron, Youngstown, Cleveland, Lakewood, stand up. I see you, man. Shout out to the east side. Shout out to west side. We out here doing our thing, man. We out here killing the game. Mark Kahn, 336 King North Carolina. Shout out to the North Kakalaki. We appreciate you out there, man. Let's see, man. Let's keep it rocking, man. Rocking and rolling, man. Tampa's in the building. That's what up. Tampa's in the building. You know what we're talking about. 216 is always in the building. Hey, man, haters gonna hate, but we're gonna keep congratulating. You know what it is, man. Sarasota, Florida's in the building, man. Hit that like button while we getting ready to wind down. Hey, we know what it is, Youngstown. Rob Cunningham. Hey, shout out to the guitar game too out there, man. Sierra Vista, Arizona. Columbus is in the building, man. Anthony Allen, I see you, man. Kennesaw, Georgia's in here. Cleveland is up in here. Northern Virginia. Shout out to University of Virginia. Y'all been going through some lot. Condolences to the Virginia football family, the whole state of Virginia, losing those 3 players. We got to do something, fellas and people, about this gun violence, man. Guys is out here losing, the poor, the rich, everybody losing. We got to do something about that gun violence, bro. You can do it. You can agree to disagree on certain things. And if you need help, bro, go seek out that help, man. We got to do something about that. Beaver Creek, Ohio is in here. Sarasota is in here. Painesville is doing it. 216 to land. Let's keep it moving. Columbus, definitely. Northern Ireland, UK. Shout out to the UK, man. I appreciate you. Our Fort Walton Beach, Florida's in here. Let's keep it moving. Who we got? Where we at? Where we at? We got a couple more in here, man. Cleveland, we're gonna brace that. North Columbus is right in here, man. Collinwood, the Wood is in here. Ashtabula is in the building. Youngstown, Ohio is in here. 330 is in. We doing it. Hey, we got C-Bus. Columbus is deep in here. Hey, y'all had to come get that therapy. Columbus, we got therapy for y'all too. We understand how it is. Palmer's in the building. 216. We got the 937. Pennsylvania's in here. 330's in here. Aurora, Colorado's in here. Boulder, Colorado. Shout out to Colorado Buffaloes. Eric Bieniemy in the building. I see you. 440-918-216 to Garfield Heights, 704. Maslin in the building. 330. Sanford, Florida. A lot of Florida cats. Akron, by the way, at Tampa. Let's keep it moving. What we got? David Banner, shout out to the 662 Mississippi in the building. Lorraine's up in here. Hey, man, Cleveland's favorite nephew. Can't wait to the UCSS. Make sure y'all check that out tomorrow, 11-1. We're going to celebrate and tap dance. Get ready for that Deshaun Watson talk. We ready to go. Painesville, Dayton, Ohio. We got 3. Hoban, Akron, Hoban. Congratulations to y'all out there. Y'all doing your thing, Akron, Hoban. We see you. Glass City, Ohio. College Station, Texas. We see you, Tyler Johnson. Texas in the house. Shout out to Mikey McNuggets. He's visiting his people. He is a College Station grad himself. Youngstown, Ohio. Youngstown is always showing up Mayfield Height. Kinsman, Los Angeles, man. Menor, graduate Collinwood 07. I see you. East Cleveland, always in the building. 614. We right here. Warren, Ohio. Shout out to my man Maurice Claret. My man East Cleveland 216 is in the building. Hit that like button, Charles Hubbard. You know what we say. Soul Train. Watson debuts the day after my birthday. Go Browns. Salute to you, my man, for always listening and supporting. I think that's East Carolina. I'm going to just make that up. Skull Island in the building. And shout out to Glenville. Shout out to all the dudes out here, Coach Ginn and everybody else. And it's for everybody. I want to thank you guys for checking in with me. I'm going to thank you for the hiccup We missed a little bit. We got it going at the end of my Randy Jackson voice. As always, the barbershop is not a real place. It's a mythical place where we talk about sports, music, and culture. But the best part of that conversation is you, the people. It's always about the people. That's why I am the people's champ. I do this for you. I do this for people. I do it from the bottom for the people that's a disenfranchised. But at the end of the day, one day we're going to be on top. We'll see you 11 sharp, Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. As always, stay safe. Enjoy your Sunday on a Browns win. G. Bush over and out.